So guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but Arc Raiders is absolutely popping off in terms of not only player count in terms of concurrent players, but also the amount of people watching it live on Twitch. As of right now, there's over 113,000 viewers on the Twitch Arc Raiders category, and there's over 130,000 players currently playing the game right now, with an all-time peak of just over 350,000 players, which is absolutely insane for an extraction shooter. I was not expecting an extraction shooter to pop off this hard. The only other extraction shooter that has kind of been in the spotlight recently has been Escape from Tarkov, as that seems to be the really only main extraction shooter that many extraction shooter players are playing at the moment. But Arc Raiders has kind of just come in and exploded the popularity of an extraction shooter. So I'm guessing that over the next couple of years, many people are going to be replicating the kind of extraction shooting game type and trying to dip their toes into this newly found gold mine, it seems. Now, also say that Arc Raiders is a very unique game in the fact that there seems to be a lot of things going right with this game. One of the biggest things is the fact that the voice chat feature is actually being used in a very surprising way. If you're going into the solos game mode, you'll be surprised by the amount of people that are actually friendly towards you and help you acquire loot and items in that game. Whereas if you go into the squads mode, you're going to be shot on sight. So it's a very vast difference between the different game modes, and honestly is really cool in my opinion. Being able to go in and run into friendly players is honestly going to be the biggest turn-ons for me jumping into this game, because when I was playing in the server Slam, I would be using the game chat, but not many other players would be, so it would just kind of be a really quiet, really stressful kind of mode. But now that people are actually using the chat and like being friendly to each other and all that kind of stuff, especially inside the solos mode, it might actually tempt me to jump in and give the game a go. Now, obviously, if you want that more PvP focused mode, you can go in with squads or duos and just have a more PvP focused experience. But alongside that, if you want to go in solos and just absolutely annihilate people, you can. Or you can go in friendly and do a mix of both. It's a very free-flowing kind of experience in terms of what you want to get out of it. If you want to go in for a PvP focused mindset, you can do that. If you want to be more friendly to other players, you can also do that, but be prepared for vice versa. You can obviously get jumped by people, you could also run into friendlies. It's a very cool experience. Now obviously with Bungie's Marathon and their most recent test, they did also add in a voice chat feature, which was not included inside of the test that many of us got to play when it was not NDA'd and not really all locked down in terms of what people could see. Now inside of that test that was open for people to jump in and see, having a voice chat feature I feel like would have been amazing. So the fact that they've added that is really good. Now due to the NDA, we aren't able to know much about the current state of Marathon, but that doesn't really stop people from lightly talking about it. So it seems that from what I've heard anyway, from certain leaks and stuff, I haven't seen anything of the recent Marathon playtest, but from what I've heard, it's looking okay. The changes that they've added seem to be pretty positive, and it's looking to be in a much better light than Marathon was in the past, with all of the art scandal stuff I'm hoping being fixed with the most recent test. Obviously, haven't seen anything, so we do not know that for certain, but I'm hoping that Bungie has gone and resolved all of the major issues with Marathon here, as well as introducing just a whole load of new stuff that people have wanted. I think they added like a couple maps, some brand new characters as well into that game, so it's all looking very good. Now, one of the biggest problems that I see with Marathon is the just pure fact that Arc Raiders came out first, and a lot of people are now just going to be attached to this game and not really looking for any other extraction shooter to take its place. So Bungie really needs to come in swinging with the changes, and one of the biggest ones that I feel like Bungie can come in with is of course the first person perspective and that solid Bungie first-person shooting gun feel. With Arc Raiders being a third-person shooter, not many people are going to be jumping in and playing it simply because it is a third-person shooter. And with the PvP element, not many people are going to be jumping for joy when they get third-person peeked around a corner and lose all of their loot. So the fact that Bungie is sticking to their roots with a first-person extraction shooter could be to their benefit, especially if they nail down everything that makes Arc Raiders good and adds that into their game and just develops on that further. Another thing that was mentioned a lot with Marathon is the secrets element, which does have me very much excited. Now there are some secret stuff inside of Arc Raiders. I believe there's like a containment unit next to the giant queen robot that people can go into, activate a puzzle and get some cool loot from. So if Bungie's puzzles inside of Marathon are like that, but like more similar to what we would expect with, say, an exotic mission or a secret puzzle within Destiny 2, I feel like this could be a really, really cool thing for just an extraction shooter generally. Because imagine you're on a map and you're doing a puzzle, and then you meet another random player who's friendly and also helps you with the puzzle. That could lead to some really fun in-game moments, but also could lead to some very stressful ones if a player decides to just rat and hide, wait for you to complete the puzzle, and then annihilate you all and steal all the loot from it. It could be really, really cool, and I'm very much hoping that Bungie is able to nail down all of that stuff and get it ready for early next year. Because as of right now, we do not have a confirmed release date for Marathon. I'm hoping that it's next year. I think a lot of people are expecting it to be early next year. I think March was the date that's been thrown around by a lot of people. Obviously, nothing confirmed as of yet, but I am very, very hopeful. Because if Arc Raiders is able to pop off this hard, I have a feeling that Marathon could do the same if they once again nail down everything and make it as solid as an experience as could possibly be. Now, obviously, once again, it's got a huge mountain to climb, not only with the dedicated players now playing Arc Raiders, but also with the negative backlash that Marathon received with the recent playtests. Obviously, once again, NDA'd playtest we don't know much about, but thanks to the public playtest that they had, a lot of people's perspective on Marathon has been kind of skewed in a negative direction. So Bungie first needs to kind of revitalize the game and change people's perspective on it before they can really do anything else. So I'm really, really hoping that Bungie has like a free open playtest similar to what Arc Raiders did with their server slam, like I think a week before the game came out. So if Bungie does a similar thing with like an open beta or another server slam type thing, that could be a great kind of way to kind of soft reboot people's thoughts on the game and get them playing and having a good time. Overall though, I'm just super, super surprised that an extraction shooter of all things has popped off this hard. So I'm very much expecting other game studios to be looking at Arc Raiders and being like, oh, okay, people are interested in this genre. Let's kind of dip our own toes in and get into this market. Now obviously that can lead to a lot of oversaturation, which could then ruin the genre itself, but if these main games kind of stick to their guns and do what they're doing already, I feel like Arc Raiders and Marathon could do very, very well, but we will obviously have to just wait and see. I'm very, very hopeful that these games can do well, especially Marathon, considering all the resources that have been put into it and the lack of resources that have been put into Destiny 2, so I'm hoping that it's all worth it in the end. Obviously, time will tell, and if it's not, we'll have plenty of videos discussing everything that went wrong here, but overall, Arc Raiders is looking great, and I'm hoping that Marathon can too, just by looking at Arc Raiders' success and kind of mimicking it at its best. Overall though, very excited for both these games. Might jump into Arc Raiders and play it myself once I'm not being drawn in by a whole load of other games recently. But yeah, overall, very excited for Arc Raiders, very hopeful for Marathon, and I'm hoping the best for both games in the near future. But with that said, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you have enjoyed this little ramble video. If you have, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. And with that all said, I'll see you all in the next one.